Hello there, it's Carrie Rhodes here. Welcome back to my YouTube channel and a new paper crafting video. I had so much fun doing my Gingerbread Christmas series in December, and I have a bunch more Christmas stuff that I got that I had yet to use, so I want to do Christmas all year. I meant to have this video on the 25th because that makes the most sense, but I didn't, so we're going for it. We're doing it anyway because I am so in love with this Santa mini album die set from Scrap Diva Designs. I got it last year and I love it. The only die I've used is the holly and the berries. So we're gonna make 3 different projects with this die set today. We're jumping right in with a shape card. So I have a piece of cardstock. I folded in half. I'm gonna take the largest die from this set and I'm gonna die cut it out with the paper folded. Part of the die is going to hang off of the side of this paper. This is a 6 by 12 inch piece of paper folded in half. And you can see I've got the die there on the left hanging off. So it's not going to cut that part. That part is going to stay folded. And this will give me my shaped card. Boom, just like that, super easy. I die cut out this same die one more time to go over the top so you can't see that fold from the front. It's going to look solid and complete from the front. Then I'm going to take the next die down, which is the same shape but a little bit smaller and stitched, and I cut it from a kind of light tan color. This is going to be like the skin tone for my card. Then we have this half oval shape that is going to be like the base of the hat for Santa. I cut it from some red glitter craft foam from Spellbinders, and then I'm taking some lightweight chipboard. I put some self-adhesive or double-sided adhesive on the back, and you can see when I die cut out those pieces, I made sure the adhesive was on the front. Then I die cut out the beard from a piece of white cardstock. I love that these pieces are all stitched. So cool. Then this die is going to cut out the mustache, the nose, the holly, the berries, and the little eyelashes. I wanted the nose just by itself, so I used a scrap and cut it just from the corner of that paper, and it's going to go right on top of that mustache, just like that. Isn't that fun? For the eyelashes, I have some black glossy cardstock with some rip and stick sheets or double-sided adhesive on the back that's going to make them sticky. So I did that. I also die cut out the holly from some green, and now I'm just trying to remove those eyes like that. One of them, the sticky part came off, so I'll set that aside, and I'm just trying to collect all the pieces before I start putting things together. Now this is the very first time I've ever made this, so you're going to kind of see that I learn from my mistakes. But before we do that, I want to dress up these pieces that accent the hat with the sticky on the front. So to do that, I peeled off the backing and I'm putting down some flocking. Now this flocking from Pink and Main has glitter in it. I can't even stand how fun it is. I'm going to get all messy right here and I love it. I'm just like getting in there, being crafty and having so much fun with this. So this is the perfect like fuzzy glittery finish for Santa's hat. Like I don't know why you wouldn't do this for Santa's hat. I'll show you why. I'm going to do each of my cards with like different papers and things to give you some fun ideas for these dies. Now for Santa's beard, I wanted there to be a little bit of shading on it. I wanted this to look, you could do the same flocking, right, and make it fuzzy, but I wanted it to look different from the fabric parts of his hat. So I used N1, or maybe, no, it was N2, and then I'm softening that out with N0 and just giving that a nice gray shadow. I'm going to do this all the way around. I'm also going to do this on the mustache, so it has a little bit of the same shading and they go together better that way. But you can see just doing that N0 over the top of what I colored, it's softening out that line and giving it kind of that soft, fluffy feel. I'm using a circular motion as I color over it, and I really like the effect of this. It turned out really cute. So like I said, we'll do the mustache the same exact way and then it'll match. All right, for the leaves, the die does press the lines of the holly leaf into it. I'm going to accent that with a G05 marker, just a darker shade than the cardstock I used. And then we need a little pink. The pink is going to go on the nose, and then I will create some cheeks. And I'm just using a really small blending brush to dust on the edges of this. And I find sometimes I need a little something to help me grab onto those tiny pieces and add the shading. So I have a piece of like tape here. This tape is no longer available, but scrapbook.com has mint tape that works really well too. So I'll link that one for you below. So here I'm just adding on those cheeks. I'm using Frosty Pink from Altenew to do that color. Just a really light pink works great. And now it's time to glue all the things together. I like to cut everything out and then glue. So I did that card front on top of my card base. Then I have the stitched layer, which is the skin color. And here's something I didn't know. I didn't really pay attention to right here. When I glued this down, I covered up the stitched lines, but really you're going to be able to see that stitched skin tone layer all around all the pieces. And that's what I didn't realize. I had to pick up my hat and move it. Now for the pom-pom of the hat, I used a foam square. And then here's where I realized the very first thing you should be gluing down on this top layer is the beard. And because I didn't do that, I just snipped off the tops of the beard and it worked out fine. But glue down your beard first, learn from my mistakes. All right, then for the edge of the hat, that little fluffy edge, I'm going to use some foam squares and a little bit of glue where it overlaps the hat itself. Because remember, that hat is already craft foam, so it's got some dimension to it, which is why I had to do partial foam squares there. All right, the mustache is getting popped up as well, and you're just going to see a little bit of that skin color right above the beard. And then the eyes. Now you could flip these over. I liked them kind of like the rainbow way. It kind of makes it look like he's smiling so big his eyes are kind of shut. I think that's really cute. And then I'm adding my holly with some foam squares as well to the brim of the hat. And then this die that cuts out the holly also cuts out berries. It cuts out 6. So I'm going to go ahead and use all 6 of them, but just layer them up so they're a little bit thicker on there. And that's really nice to have that where you can just add the dimension to it really quick. So boom, there we go. I added a dot. I think this is like R59 that I added a dot of color to those berries. And then there he is. That's the whole front of this card. You could really do so much with this, and I'm going to show you more, don't worry. But I also wanted to add another layer to the inside of the card because the outside is so thick with all the layers. So I just took that same stitched layer, die cut it out again, and I only had to snip a little bit off of his hat to make it fit in there. And then I've got an interesting border around this and a little bit thicker card back, if that makes sense. Yeah, there we go. All right, so now we just need to dress this up a tiny bit. I brought in some glossy accents. I'm going to add that to the berries and like the veining only on these leaves. And that's going to give this a really pretty polished off look, a little extra something, like a little embellishment. But I love different textures and dimension on my cards. So having craft foam that's glittered, having the flocking, the glossy paper, the glossy accents, like all those things just make me so happy. So there's my card. I did end up stamping Merry Christmas on the inside of this in red, and I'm going to show you that stamp on project number 2, which is going to be a gift tag. So we're going to make a giant gift tag. I love making my own gift tags, and I really like to make them special because I actually save them and reuse them every year. I have like a little bag that I put everybody's Christmas tags in after we open presents, and I put it in with my wrapping, and the next year I pull them out and use them again. So I thought this one would be really fun to try out patterned paper. So I did a stripe pattern paper for that very back piece, and it's just going to peek out around the edges. From that same paper pad, I did the Santa hat, but this one, it's like pearlized and textured. I'm going to use that for the hat brim and the pom-pom. Now, some of these papers I'm not going to be able to link for you. They're just stuff I've had in my stash for years. If you're a paper crafter, you probably have this in your stash too. I'm pulling out some textured cardstock this time for the beard and the mustache, so it looks a little bit different from my hat brim. I did pattern paper for the holly leaves as well, and now what I'm going to do here is for that stitch layer, I did white. I thought that might look cool to make the beard look more fluffy, and then I'll ink blend on the area for his face. I pulled out hazelnut ink, which I thought was going to be a little bit more tan, and in the end it kind of turned out more yellowy. I'm not happy with that, but it still works. Like it, you know, it's fine. I wanted my Santa to be a little bit darker skinned here, so I'm going to work with it though. Okay, so I glued on the beard first, like you're supposed to, then the hat brim, as I like to call it, and then the pom-pom. Everything is getting glued down flat here, except the pom-pom. I will pop up, and I'm going to attach the string now, which is some red and white baker's twine. I love this twine. I have a huge roll of it. And what I did is I took a part of a foam square, and then I put some glue at the base there, and I'm going to kind of attach the twine to the base and the sides, and then I can cover this up with my pom-pom piece. So I'll just hold that in place till it kind of dries, remove the backing, and put down that pom-pom. And I was going to leave it just like that, but then I actually decided to tie a knot also at the base of the twine, and that's going to really hold it there. This may or may not be used to tie to a present. Sometimes it goes on a wrapped present, and I put like one of those bows that has a sticky back over the top of the twine, and it kind of holds it down that way, and then the tag hangs loose. But you could hang this off of a handle of a gift bag, and it could just, you could reuse the gift bag too, because this is such a big element. You could just have like a craft gift bag, or you could have a white gift bag, a red one, like whatever, you know, you could have a really simple snowflake bag, be really cute with this. So I'm adding the eyes on just like I did before with black. I added a little color to my nose, and then I am going to come back in with that frosty pink and add the cheeks and a little pink to the top of the nose as well. I feel Santa needs a little pink on his nose, right? Yeah. So having everything kind of laid in place really helps for figuring out where to do the cheeks. So there we have it. And then I do end up popping up the mustache and the nose on this one as well. It just helps give a little bit of dimension, adds that little extra something special. All right, let's glue this down to that pattern paper layer, which I thought I was just going to leave this pattern paper layer as it is because it's got a polka dot background, and I thought it was fine for the back of it, but I am going to add a second layer to the back as well. Now for the berries on this one, I actually pulled out a scrap of paper, added the rip and stick sheets to it so I didn't have to do the glue, and I don't know, you still have to pick them off the paper, so I couldn't decide if I liked this better than just gluing them down. So up to you. All right, then there's my leaves, my holly leaves there that are cut from pattern paper. So they've got some darker green and lighter green in there. I think that's really fun. And I'm going to pop those up again. So just a little bit of dimension on this one, and it adds so much. And it's something we all have is, you know, foam squares. You could even use scraps of paper to make these stand up. And then I wasn't sure if I was going to do this shading part on the beard this time because my beard is on some textured paper, and I thought that would be enough, but I really loved the look of it. So I went ahead and gave it a try, and I did like it too on the textured paper. But what I'm not sure that I love, and I would love for your opinion on this, that middle stitched layer that on the first one I did in a skin tone, but on this one I did in white. I'm not sure I like that second layer in white. I think I prefer it with a skin tone color. So let me know your thoughts. Okay, here's that Merry Christmas stamp. This is the Tag Helper stamp set from Trinity Stamps. I'm going to stamp this on a different pattern paper, red paper with that swirl. It's the same one I did for the hat. And that Tag Helper set has a to and from in it. So I can go ahead and stamp these down. I'm going to emboss it actually. So I'm using an anti-static powder tool, or a tool that allows the powder, the embossing powder, only to stick to your stamped images, because sometimes it can also stick if you had oils on your hand. It can stick to those spots where you've touched the paper. So I'm going to do that and stamp it with clear embossing powder and white embossing powder. So there we have the powder. It's sticking to my stamped image, tapping off any excess powder that I don't want before I go ahead and raise this up and heat it with my heat tool. So, I mean, you got to heat it up, then it's going to get melted and raised up, which is the part I love about embossing. It's really the very first thing I fell in love with that got me into making my own cards was embossing. This was like over 25 years ago. Yeah. Probably close to 30 years now. I started card making. Wow. Okay, so this is going to go on the back. You can see the back layer was cute enough, but I couldn't stamp on it because I'd already put my whole tag together. So I thought another layer on the back would be really cute. So I stuck down that red layer with the stamping, and I think it really gives it that finished off look. I'm adding the same dots to my cute little berries, but I'm not going to leave the glossy accents alone this time. I am going to bring in some rock candy glitter and add that to this. I love rock candy glitter, and this is like the perfect added touch to this card, a little extra touch of glitter that it needed. So here it is dry. There's it in focus. And isn't that the added touch it needed? I totally think so. So there's my tag. It's ready to go. I had fun with the pattern papers on this one. I think that's really fun. Here's a close-up look at it. And then we're going to move on and make a gift bag with this. There's so many things you could do with this. This is the Bag Maker die set, also from Scrap Diva Designs. And you can use this to turn pretty much any die into a bag. So I am not going to cut my dies apart. See, it has little tabs. You could bend those apart or cut them off. I just left it like that. I'm going to die cut all three at the same time from one color of cardstock, so I didn't bother to take mine apart. But I am going to have to alter this so that it fits my Santa. And so there's one thing I'm going to do that I'm not sure about. I might do it different if I made this project again, and I'll show you what that is. First, I'm going to fold on all my score lines. I find it easiest to fold the score lines towards me first and then away. All right, I have cut out two of those biggest pieces from this die set, and I wanted the box to kind of be hidden. If I kept the box the size that it is, it would show behind my Santa. And in hindsight, I think I would do it that way instead of trimming this down. But I just marked it where I wanted the box to go, and I can trim this down. And I left this in and kept my box the way it is because you can easily add these dies to any size project you want. You could make it smaller by trimming it down like I am. You could actually make it bigger and hook a couple of these together. So it really is a nice die set that you can use for any box. And you can create these kind of pieces yourself, but then you have to do the measuring, you have to do the cutting, you have to do the scoring, you have to do math. So why would you do that when there's a die set, right? I'm going to just kind of tape these two pieces together because I wanted to figure out how high I wanted the box. And again, this is another easy thing you can alter when turning your die cut shapes into boxes. Just figure out how high you want it to go and trim off the top. Easy peasy. Once you trim off one, you can use that as a guide to trim off the second one, just like that. So fun and so easy. It just, kind of takes a lot of the guesswork out of it for you. So there we go. There are tabs on all of these pieces. On those tabs, you're going to put some double-sided adhesive. That's what I like to use. And I used 1/8 of an inch size. So now I'm going to hook these three pieces together and make one long rectangle. And this is going to be the base and the sides of my Santa shaped gift bag or box, but the sides go in like a paper bag. See the triangle there? I love that. It's gusseted. Yeah. Okay, so those three are hooked together. I also like to use liquid glue with my double-sided adhesive on 3D projects. I don't want anything coming apart. I don't like that. All right, so I added my box here, and you can see the bottom of my box or bag is now going to be a bumpy rounded thing. Yeah, some people are smarter than I am and realize that it's not going to sit flat, but I went for it anyway because I thought this is going to be a bag. Like you could tie the top, you could, sandwich the top together, put a clip, something, right? And then you just give it to somebody. It doesn't necessarily have to sit up, but it will sit up. It just kind of sits to the side a little bit. And I didn't hate it, so I just went for it. But in hindsight, I might keep the bottom piece the true size and have some of my box show at the bottom on this project. Let me know what you think. I love your thoughts and comments. I love chatting with you, so leave me a comment in the description box below and let me know your thoughts. So see, there you could put a clip at the top and have this be clipped shut and just like hand it to somebody as a gift, right? All right, so for this one, my skin tone color is going to be this gorgeous craft cardstock. I love it, and we're going to do some fun things. So for the beard and the mustache, I'm going to emboss this with an embossing folder to make it all polka dotted. I love this look. This is going to be really fun, and I am doing two duplicate pieces, two Santas that are exactly the same. One for the front of the box and one for the back. So there's my beard and mustaches added on the little nose with the same color craft cardstock for the matchy-matchy look that I love. And there's the textured pieces. I love it. Okay, this cardstock is this pink like linen textured cardstock that is shiny and super thick. It's from the Dollar Tree. I found it at the Dollar Tree. I was like, let me try this out, and I love it. Now, one thing I hadn't shown you in the last two projects is that the pom-pom for this has two layers, a bigger piece and a smaller piece. So I layered them up, and I used some glitter cardstock I had in my stash that it has kind of a pink undertone. I'm not sure where I even got this paper, but it was perfect for this project. I love the colors coming together on this one. I decided to do white eyelashes on this one. It just seemed to go better with the color combination that I'm doing, this softer pastel look. I'm going to do some mint green holly leaves. I'm not kidding. This is what makes the project for me. This mint green color. I can't get enough of it. I love it. So I brought in a softer marker. Don't ask me which one, because look how I didn't even set the lid up for you. That's rude. But yeah, just something similar in color. And then I'm bringing in these rhinestones. They are pink and glittered. There's glitter suspended in them. Gorgeous. They totally match the pink of my cardstock. So I love that I just had that in my stash, pulled it out. I'm adding these on. These are from Trinity Stamps, and I'm using their pickup tool and their tidy tray to make quick and easy work of adding these as berries for the holly. I love adding an embellishment as the berries. I love that. It's added texture, right? Okay, I brought in Spun Sugar Distress Oxide ink and added some little cheeks to that. Oh, it's cute. So sweet. Okay, for the leaves, I'm adding some shimmer with just a shimmer pen. So it's going to add like that little glittery, shimmery effect. Look, it's so precious, right? Love it. Okay, these are ready to go on to my gift box, right? Glue them in place, and it's going to sit on its side. It's okay, right? If it sits on its side. But what if you put a heavy gift in it? Yeah. Hindsight's 2020. Okay, this is a die set from my stash. It says Merry Christmas. It's from Trinity Stamps. It's totally retired. I'm sorry that I'm showing it to you, but I gotta use stuff from my stash because it works. This is Neon Mint glitter paper from the 12 by 12 cardstock shop. They have some amazing papers over there. You gotta check it out. Also, as far as the sentiments go, these die cut words, the Scrap Diva Designs shop has a ton of these kind of die cuttable words with shadow layers. So I will link something similar to this for you below. I just had to shop my stash and find one that was going to fit on my Santa's hat, and this one did. So sorry, I can't link it for you below. It is no longer available. I already checked, but you know, use what you have too. Maybe you have a stamped one you could stamp out and put on there, but you know, it's good to use the things we already have purchased, right? Yeah, so I just cut this Christmas out with that lightweight chipboard again. I save it left over from packaging and use it for things like this. I like that it's a little bit thicker, so it's going to give me some dimension. I like that it's a tiny bit shiny, and because it's a little bit thicker, it holds up really well with thin, intricate die cuts like the one I used here. And that mint glitter paper, I'm so excited. It is yummy. And I just got it, like it came yesterday, so I had to break it out. It went really well with the mint color of cardstock that I chose to use for those holly leaves, so I was really happy. So I just decided I'm going to put Merry on one side of the box and Christmas on the other side of the box, right? That's cute. I love it. So that's what I did to finish this off. I love this Santa. I love all things like retro Santa, like Santa with the big or like pink rosy cheeks. He's all jolly. It's like from 1960. He's my favorite. So anyways, I love Santa things, so I had to get this box and I had to play with it. I have a bunch of other dies from Scrap Diva Designs for Christmas that I'm going to be sharing. I'm hoping to do one Christmas video a month on or around the 25th of the month. So let me know what you think of that idea, if you like Christmas all year long. And if you did not catch my Gingerbread Christmas series in December, go back and check it out. I had 5 episodes and a bonus episode for my members. So lots of fun with that. And there's a Scrap Diva Design die in there that's a gingerbread purse. I'll link that video for you right here so you can check that out next. Thank you so much for watching and happy stamping. Bye.